Shabbat Shalom, friends. Very glad to see all of you here tonight in the Molish Sanctuary, and we're also excited to welcome all of you who are watching via live stream. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. We are one community remotely and here present in this space because we are one in spirit. Rabbi Lieb was supposed to be leading services tonight, but he unfortunately has the flu. Oh, yeah. So that means that you just need to pray an extra strong Misha Berach, and hopefully he will be up and at 'em pretty soon. We're going to begin by welcoming Shabbat with song, and Canner's Ark is going to lead us along with Mark.
Sure. In the prayer book, page 10, Yadit Nefesh. Yadit Nefesh Rahman, Yadit Nefesh Rahman, Meshochav Decha, El Ratzonecha, Meshochav Decha, Yalalala, El Ratzonecha.
We welcome Shabbat with the kindling of lights, and it's my pleasure to call forward Rhoda Ryba to light the Shabbat candles for us. We're on pages 3, followed by page 2, and we invite you to rise.
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'echad l'ikner shel Shabbat.
You may be seated. We continue in a moment with welcoming Shabbat by singing to the Sabbath Queen, the Sabbath Bride, welcoming Shabbat into our midst, as did our mystical ancestors. But before we do that, we want to take a moment to welcome one another. So please look around you, wish one another a Shabbat Shalom. Say hello, especially to someone you haven't met before. We continue welcoming Shabbat with Lecha Dodi, page 20.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, yishmiranu elecha. שבת לכו ונלכו, כי מקורך ברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכו, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, לך דעתי לקראת קלה, אני שבת נקבלה, לך דעתי לקראת קלה, אני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי ברך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה, לך דעתי לקראת קלה, אני שבת נקבלה, לך דעתי לקראת קלה, אני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה וצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דעתי לקראת קלה, אני שבת נקבלה, לך דעתי לקראת קלה, אני שבת נקבלה.
We continue with Shalom Aleichem, page 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barachuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Page 26, as we rise.
Yitkadol v'yitkad Hashem b'rabah, v'alma tevrakiruti v'yamlich malchuti, v'chayachon v'chonukayt kol beit Yisrael, b'agalu, b'agalu, ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יחי שמי רבם מברך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך, יתברך וישתבח ויתפור ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתחתר ויתעלה ויתחלל שמי דקדשו ברכו לחל מן כל ברכתו ושירתו
ושבחתה ונחמתה דמירון בעלמה ויאמרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
On page 29, there is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within himself. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song. Nivarech, let us bless. Page 30, together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, uvidvuna mishanei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem, barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו, באורך ימינו, באורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר מבנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, וחיו הדברים כאלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושננתם לבדיך, ודיברת בם
בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing at the shores of the sea.
מי כמוך באבלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, דורות תהילות עושי פלא, דורות תהילות עושי פלא. ים בירים בם בם בם, ים בירים בם בם בם, ים בם ים בם, ים בירים בם בם בם, ים בירים בם בם בם. Yam bim bam bam bam, ya ba ba ya ba ba ya ba 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 bam. Malchutecha rovanecha, bokiyam lefnei Moshe Miriam, zali anu v'amru. ונאמר כיפת אדוני את יעקב, וגלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. השכיבנו אדוני אלוקינו לשלום וחמיתנו שומרנו על החיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוקינו לשלום וחמיתנו שומרנו על החיים. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום עמיתנו שומרנו לחיים השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום עמיתנו שומרנו לחיים.
Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם ביני ובין בני ישראל ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לתורותם ברית העולם כי ששת ימים כי ששת ימים עשות אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם וביום השביעי שבת וקדוש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם.
We rise for the Amidah, page 46.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו אלוהי אברהם אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב אלוהי שרה אלוהי רבקה אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה האלך הגדול לך גיבור וחנורה אל עליון גומע לך סעדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניכם למען שמו בכפה מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני בחייך כל אתה רב להושיע משיב הרוח מוריד הגשם מחלקה לחיים בחסד בחייך כל ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ברופאי חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר יחמוך בעל גברות ומדוע מהלוך מלך מימית ומחיי ומצמיח ישוע ונאמנת לקחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יחללוך הסלע ברוך אתה אדוני המלך הקדוש.
We continue silently through page 63.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
With words of prayer for peace, for shalom, just having escaped our lips, peace for the whole world, peace for our troubled times, we look also for the peace that is more intimate, more personal, the peace within one's body and mind and spirit that we so yearn for. And we pray the Mishaberach in the hopes that wellness will come to all of us. Mishaberach avotenu ve'imotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, Hu yivarech et hacholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all those who are ill. Here in the Beth Am community, we think especially of Mike, Judah, Avitan, Cynthia Baylor, Barbara Bortz, Larry Broder, Shimshon Ben Leba Chaya, Sandy Chernow, Antonio Cordero, Andy Dorfman, David Dorsey, Sheila Evans, Jay Fulmer, Merrill Fulmer, Brian Geiger, David Lieberman, Larry Mance, Gershona Binyamina Batsar Valevi, Stan Oliver, Sharon Paul, Rebitzer David Rachmiel Ben Sara Valevi, Mark Reingold, Eric Stroll, Beverly Tisdale, and Judy Weiss. I want to invite you to add any names to this list, the names of anyone for whom you're praying for healing this Shabbat evening. With hope for healing in our hearts, we join together in singing the Misha Beirach, page 253.
Source of strength, oh bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Bless those in need of spirit with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say
May the Holy One of blessing bring us all blessing, the blessing of healing, the blessing of peace, soon in our day, as together we say, Amen. Mr. Tinkleman, you are our tech support, and I want to know if I use this microphone and step down, will people be able to hear me? Okay. We're on. So, sometimes at this part of our service, as some of you know, I tell a story. I don't always have a story, but recently I found a very interesting story, and it was a story for Hanukkah. It's coming up. This is actually the last Friday night service that I'm going to be doing in the month of December. So this is my chance to tell you a Hanukkah story. Now, a lot of Hanukkah stories are like cute, right? There are tons of stories for kids for Hanukkah. You know, there's PJ Library puts out 1 million of them, and a lot of them they're sort of a little bit silly, a lot of them. They're like, Herschel tricks the goblins out of the dreidel, or, you know, like it's you know, like how many latkes can you eat? You know, it's fun. But curiously, I was looking for something with a little more substance, and I found a story that, if you can believe it or not, is a Chelm story. And yet, even though it has some silly elements, it has a little something serious in it too. Because even though Hanukkah is a time when, you know, the nights are getting longer, the days are getting shorter, and we are yearning for light, that light, the light of the Chanukiah, we want to lean into that. But it's not my favorite theme of the holiday. My favorite theme of the holiday is miracles. And what are the miracles that we know are part of the Hanukkah story? The oil with the 8 days. Is there another one that traditionally we say is a miracle? Well, Nes Gadol Hayasham refers to the miracle. But what miracle was that? The rabbis want us to say, it had to do with God making the oil last. The other miracle is that this tiny army could be successful. And there's some interesting history as to how each of those stories got told. But, you know, the truth is that a lot of times when we think about miracles, we're really thinking about things that, you know, we read the Torah, and these are things that are against the laws of nature most of the time. But the truth is that word nes, the word we use for miracle, actually refers to, in our tradition, some things that aren't against the laws of nature, things that occur all the time, if we but have the wisdom to notice their miraculous and holy character. So this story begins in the town of Chelm. And in Chelm, in the Grand Central Synagogue, if you go there, you'll see a remarkable Hanukkah menorah. You look at it, and you may think you're not looking at a Hanukkah menorah, at a Chanukiah, but rest assured, it has the soul of a Chanukiah. And there's a story of how it got there. Many years ago, there was a farmer riding a wagon full of supplies through the town of Chelm. He went over a bump in the wagon, and his hay fork fell off the wagon and into the middle of the street. He didn't realize it, and he kept on driving. But Huldah the baker and Shmuel the tailor came along a little bit later, and they saw it lying there in the street. "What's a hay fork doing in the middle of the street?" said Huldah the baker. "That's not a hay fork," said Shmuel the tailor. "Look at it. It has 9 tines, 9 branches, and the one in the middle is taller than all of the others." "You're right," said Huldah the baker. "There's only one object that looks like that." "It must be." "Yes, I think it's true," said Shmuel. "It's a Chanukiah." "Well, we can't just leave it here in the street," said Huldah. "We have to shine it up and get it ready for Hanukkah and take it to the synagogue." So they shined up the metal tines until they shone like silver, and they polished the wooden handle until it gleamed, and they brought it into the synagogue. Now in the synagogue, Yitzi the shamus had just finished mopping the floor of the sanctuary. When he saw them coming in with a rake, with a hay fork, he said, "Get that hay fork out of here. I just finished cleaning this floor. Take that back to the stable where it belongs. Open your eyes, said Shmuel. Have you ever seen a hay fork that shone like silver and gleamed? Open your eyes, said Huldah. Have you ever seen a hay fork that had 9 tines with the middle one taller than all the others? It must be a Chanukiah, said Yitzi. That's right, said Huldah. We found it in the street. We think God sent it down from heaven. Surely it must have been that way, said Yitzi, and he ran to get a bucket and filled it with sand so that they could stand the Chanukiah upright, right at the front of the Beit Tefillah, right at the front of the sanctuary. Soon, all of the people of the town of Chelm came to pray. And they were praying their evening prayers, and they were arriving to light the Chanukiah for the first night of Hanukkah. Well, fortunately, Huldah and Shmuel, they found some candles, and they affixed them, one to the tallest tine in the middle, and one all the way to the right. And when the people arrived, they looked. They were so surprised. They said, "Why is there a hay fork at the front of the sanctuary?" "That's not a hay fork," said Yitzi. "Open your eyes. Can't you see? Have you ever seen a hay fork that gleams and glows and shines like silver?" "Open your eyes," said Huldah. "Have you ever seen a hay fork that has 9 tines with the middle one taller than the others?" "It was surely sent from heaven," said Shmuel. And all the people looked, and they realized they had a remarkable Chanukiah. And so they began the night of Hanukkah. But even as they were praying, word spread like wildfire throughout the town and throughout the surrounding towns. And people came from all over to see the remarkable Chanukiah that was in the Grand Central Synagogue of Chelm. One of those people was a farmer who had been spending the day looking for his missing hay fork. When the people saw it, they said, "What is this? This is a hay fork. How can you have a hay fork here in the sanctuary?" "That's not a hay fork," said the people. "Open your eyes. Have you ever seen a hay fork gleam and glow like this? Have you ever seen a hay fork with 9 tines with the middle one taller than the others? Have you ever seen a hay fork that surely came as a gift from God?" "That is my hay fork," said the farmer. "I've seen that before. That's my hay fork." "I know. I once fixed it with a metal collar and 2 screws, and there they are." Sure enough, everyone could see the metal collar and the 2 screws that the farmer had used to repair the hay fork. So they turned to the rabbi and they said, "Rabbi, what should we do? We think it's our Chanukiah, and he thinks it's his hay fork." The rabbi thought, and she said, "You know, I don't really know for sure. This requires wisdom beyond my years and learning. I think we should go to the seer of Lublin. He is wise and he is thoughtful. He sees into the soul of everything and finds hidden meaning wherever he looks." And so the rabbi and the farmer, Huldah the baker, Shmuel the tailor, Yitzi the shamus, they all got in a wagon and went to Lublin, and they were followed by all the townspeople of Chelm. After the seer had offered them some refreshments, he said to them, "What can I do for you? How can I help? Why have you come?" The people explained the problem, and the seer thought and said, "You know, our great teacher, Rabbi Isaac Luria, taught that there are holy sparks embedded in all things. And those sparks are just waiting to be elevated, to be lifted up
for a holy purpose, if only we pay attention. I believe that's what's happened in this case. In its earlier existence, this object was a hay fork. But now that it has been lifted up, it has been elevated, and its holy sparks have been made known, it can never be used as a hay fork again. It must be a Chanukiah. What about my hay fork, said the farmer. I need a hay fork to do my work. And you shall have one, said the seer. Here is my decision. The people of Chelm can keep their Chanukiah, but in compensation, they must pay the farmer 18 zlotys for his hay fork. 18 zlotys for a hay fork, said the people. What's the matter, said the farmer. Open your eyes. Haven't you ever seen a Chanukiah before? And so, if you or I were to go to the town of Chelm, to the Grand Central Synagogue, we would see a curious Chanukiah on the bima. We may look at it and think we're looking at a hay fork, but don't be fooled. For though it looks like a hay fork, it has the soul of a Chanukiah. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to continue our service on page 282 with Aleinu. And I'd love to invite everybody in this quadrant to come help us open the ark. Please rise. Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. Here in the Beth Am community, we remember those whose families are still in Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning. Betty, we're so glad that you're here in memory of your daughter-in-law, Michelle Amy Bressler. And we also remember Paul Seidman, father of David Seidman, and of course, Mila Zark, the mother-in-law of Cantor Elena Zark. We link their names to the names of those whose yahrzeits occur this week. Jeremy Adams, Alfred Bartwink, Ida Bellett, Anna Berman, Bernard Braun, Edith Burstein, Jack Clark, Lorraine Cohen, Max Cutler, Mo Deutsch, Paul Mayer Ellis, William Feinstein, Stanley Feldman, Helen Finkelman, Robert Fishman, Bruce Ford, Samuel J. Gamberg, Jack Gershenson, Erwin Ginsberg, Alice Godine, William Wolf Goldstein, Morris Grayboys, Sally Grossman, Jack Hedrick, Clara Hetzelson, Isaac Izard, William Jacobson, Shirley R. Kahn, Shirley Kahn, Isaac Leon Kaplan, Mary Katzeff, Saul Katzman, Morris Koenig, Max Kirschenbaum, Lenore Kleiner, Nathan Korn, Helen Kramer, Jenny Kupperberg, Ann Lindheimer, Reba Liss, Barbara Lopatin, Jacob Marburger, Bessie Matkov, Jules Matsau, Genesee Jean Meltzer, Sarah Moss, Benjamin Muchnick, Marvin Nagel, Rose Tessler-Orlov, Esther Oxenberg, Craig Curtis Pinsker, Ruby Pressman, Gerald Prince, Milton Roseman, Joseph Seltzer, Morris Semberg, Malvin J. Shamus, Benjamin Shore, Joyce Schatz, Sidney Silberg, Ann Silverstein, Edward Silverstein, Harold Sokolow, Fanny Stein, Celia Steinberg, Sarah Stillman, Tilly Sussman, Marcia Tabby, Joshua Uram, Herbert Utain, Ruth Wagner, Isaac Weiner, Dorothy Weiss, Esther Weiss, Samuel Weiss, Esther Wolf, Sylvia Zoller, and Shirley Dobird. I want to invite you to add any names to this list, the names of anyone for whom you're saying Kaddish this evening. Please. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be an eternal blessing as we rise as one congregation and join together in the words of Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal, Yitkadash, Shmei Rabbah, Bi'amad divrach churte, V'amlich malchute, B'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. Kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mivarach Leolam Ulamei Almaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitrumam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yitaleh V'yithalal Shmei D'Kudashah B'richu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechamata Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who makes harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and comfort to all who are bereaved. As together we say, Amen. I invite you to be seated. It's my pleasure to call forward Barry Tinkelman to offer us some greetings and announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. Rabbi, I'd like to welcome you back to the Bema this week. We're happy to see that you're in good health, and this week we send our best wishes to Rabbi Lieb as he recuperates. Don't get any ideas. And a bon voyage to our executive director, Sherry Tornberg, who leaves for a well-deserved vacation next week.
I wish.
Oh, Sherry Turetsky, boy, oh boy. Sorry about that.
I'm happy to
Yeah, I know.
take half.
Yeah. Boy, I can't believe it. Wow. We'll do our best to keep the place running until she returns. Tomorrow's Torah study and Shabbat morning service are in the TBT chapel starting at noon. Rabbi Tornberg is leading the Torah study, and Rhoda Reiba will chant Torah. Torah study and services will also be available on Zoom. See yesterday's email for Zoom meeting info. And speaking of emails, you'll notice that we have paired the congregation-wide emails to one a week on Thursdays. Be sure to check every Thursday for information on the weekend service schedule and all activities and programs for the following week. Our last event at Iron Hill Brewery and Restaurant was so successful, we're going to do it again. Thursday, December the 15th, eat lunch and or dinner at Iron Hill in Huntington Valley, and either give the flyer that you got in your email to the wait person, or just tell them, and Beth Ann will get 20% of your food bill. Sorry, but we don't get anything from the beer that you drink. Hanukkah is coming. The gift shop in our lobby is stocked with a large selection of Hanukkah gifts for everyone in the family. Gift shop hours are posted in your email or call for an appointment. If you must buy your gifts on Amazon, be sure to go to smile.amazon.com, and Amazon will donate a percentage of your purchase to our congregation. And you can celebrate Hanukkah here at Beth Am Tuesday evening, December 20th, beginning at 5 p.m. We will be serving kosher brisket sliders and latkes for dinner with applesauce, but sorry, no sour cream. Well, come on, can't have brisket sliders and sour cream, sorry. Reservations are required for dinner. You can do that on ShulCloud or Venmo by December the 18th. We'll also light the outdoor Chanukiah that night. We'll have fun programs for the kids, including an escape room, and Rabbi Lee will lead a class in the TBT and on Zoom. Have a good Shabbos. Thank you.
I'm jealous. I want a theme song. So please consider coming and joining us on the 20th. It's going to be a wonderful evening that really brings together the whole congregation. We're also inviting people to bring their own Chanukiot so that we can actually, well, we're going to light it outside, but we'll also light in the auditorium. And it's going to be a really fun, lovely evening with lots of people of all ages. So please come join us.
And also next Friday night, we're trying something new. We're going to put the choir and the band together. So it's going to be a musical pre-Hanukkah celebration. So spread the word. It's going to be lots of fun.
Is the choir going to be singing or playing musical instruments?
They're going to be singing.
What about the band?
The band is going to be singing and playing.
Okay. Kenner, do you have a concert coming up that you want to
Yes.
talk about?
Well, people know that on Sunday, actually the conservative CA, it's the Cantors Assembly, they're putting on a concert at Melrose B'nai Israel. It's really fun, wonderful program, lots of cantors. I am the only one Reform cantor who is there, so it's really fun, and it's nice to make new friends and sing with them. So 4 o'clock, Melrose B'nai Israel, and you can buy the tickets at the door.
Thank you. Terrific. Good luck. It's going to
Sure.
be beautiful, I know.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
So how are we going to end this service?
Well, Mark asked me twice. I
Yes.
said, we're going to conclude with Shabbat Shalom. He said, what's the closing hymn? I said, we're going to conclude
With
with
Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom.
And please join us when we're done in the lobby for Kiddush.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Hey, hey, hey. Ya la 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 ya la, ya la 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 ya la, ya la 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 ya la, ya la la ya la la, ya la la ya la, ya la la ya la, ya la la ya la, ya la la. Ya la la ya la, ya la la ya la, ya la la ya la, ya la 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 la. Shabbat Shalom, 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Good Shabbos, please join us.
Shabbat Shalom
Shabbat
to
Shalom.
everyone. Shabbat